So if you're watching this, you might be thinking, is Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 a game for me? Maybe you're on the fence, unsure if you'll get much game out of it. Or maybe you just took the plunge but don't know where to start. Well, this video is for you guys. Welcome back guys, and today I want to talk about you new people and those of you who are beginning that exciting journey into Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020, or those of you who are just considering buying Microsoft Flight 2020 but are unsure if it's for you. After all, you've never played a flight simulator before and it all seems a bit complicated. So today I want to talk to you about where to start, what peripherals you may need, if any, and some basic tips to get you started. Now, quick note, everything I say here is based on the Game of the Year edition, so it's just been updated. So depending on when you see this, especially if it's in the future, some items may have changed, but as of December 2021, this is all up to date. And for those of you on the fence, and indeed those that have just bought the game, is there stuff that you can do that helps you to learn the ropes? Absolutely there are. There is a ton, and I do mean a ton, of tutorials out there on how to start the plane up, how to fly, etc. You'll come to that. This really isn't about that. This video is more about how do I actually just begin my journey? What is the first thing I should click on to understand the game better and ultimately just fly a plane? And I'm honest with myself and I'm honest with you guys. Let's be honest, the first thing you're all going to do is get in a jet and just fly the game. So you know what? Let's go with that. So your first port of call should be the landing challenges. These can be found in the activities section and offer various degrees of difficulty. So start off and just go through each one. Why? Because they are short to do, just a few minutes long, and all you really need to worry about at this time is just pointing your plane and reducing the throttle or speeding up. That's it. And above all else, you'll be just amazed at how stunning everything looks. And because you'll be admiring those visuals, you're going to end up crashing a lot. That's because these landing challenges have been curated to kind of really show off the sim in all their glory. Likewise, if you are testing the graphical settings out, this is a good place to start too. Now, I'd start off with the famous landing challenges. Once you've done those, hop over to the epic and then go over to the strong wind challenges. There is hours of fun to be had here, but my reasoning is for any new flight simmer just joining, you're going to enjoy these flight challenges, and more than anything, you're just going to learn how to turn the plane and use the throttle. So once those are complete, the next thing you should do is head over to the map, scroll around and select your hometown. We all want to go around and fly where we live. This is the go-to section, and just get it out your system. Now, I do recommend flying a propeller plane. This is mainly due to a slower speed. It will just be easier to manage and you can see what's going on around you. Again, you are going to crash because you'll just be trying to work out how accurate the environment is, and trust me, it will blow you away. It's a neat little thing to do, and you always end up calling your friends and family in to show this feature off, but the reality is, once people have done this, they always ask that question, so now what? And this is where I would look to now do the actual flight training itself. So it will really improve your enjoyment of the flights and as the sim in general. You'll pick up the basic concepts of flaps and throttle control. You'll also learn about heading. Once you've got those three nailed, you'll actually be able to fly anywhere in the world. Yes, and I do mean anywhere. They are the only three things that you need to learn. Don't worry what anyone else says. That is the basics. So do all the basic handling flights, takeoff and landing flights, and the VFR flights. Once you've got those three sections nailed, you'll be able to literally fly anywhere. Just a quick note, VFR simply means visual flight rules. That is to say, you fly by what you actually see outside your cockpit window. You'll also hear IFR a lot, which simply means instrument flight rules, and you'll learn how to fly the aircraft using only what's inside your cockpit. But at this early stage, just learn these three training modules. Forget the jets for now, even though that's going to be supremely tempting. Know that jets pretty much fly themselves, and you'll be using a lot of IFR, whereas the general aviation aircraft, also known as GA planes, they usually require more hands-on and manual flying, and for me they're actually usually more fun. And without question, the GA plane is a great way to just learn the basic concepts of flying. So now that you've flown over your hometown and had a go at all the landing challenges, which at this point you actually may want to retry and sort of practice those new skills that you've learned along the way, you should be in a position to do some really bare minimum stuff, and that is take off, manage your throttle, manage your flaps, and get a feel for the actual aircraft itself. So you can now take to the skies with a little bit more confidence that you're not going to fall out of it. Now for me, this is where there are two types of gamers that come in. At this point, you're either going to have those that are more fascinated, excited, and they just want to learn more, or you may have that other gamer that just simply knows that, you know what, I've got what I need, I know what I need, I'm just going to fly around the world. Regardless of where you fall into that category, make sure you head on over to the marketplace, select all at the very top, then hit the full catalogue, then click free. What you are now seeing are all the free updates released for the game. Some come from third parties, but what you really want are those world updates at the bottom as you scroll down. So these have been released from Asobo and they dramatically improve the scenery in those areas. Now yes, they are big downloads. Each time a patch is released, you usually need to go in here and just update these downloads. It's highly recommended though that you get them all, grab a coffee and just watch them take place. Now apart from updating your base game to be better graphically in those locations, they also include discovery flights. These discovery flights are, once again, they're specially curated, so they showcase the country and the cities and what they have to offer. The great part is you'll be able to put your basic skills to the test from here on out. Now I would recommend at this point in your flying that you should pretty much be inside the cockpit the whole time. I know it's tempting to fly from outside the cockpit and have the kind of the plane view, but the internal view is really where you want to be at this point and when you fly these missions, because it's going to help you understand what's going on around you. And you're going to see some exceptional things along the way, and it's just going to increase your understanding of the flights and the characteristics and the systems of the plane. So for example, as you go over mountains or valleys, your plane will experience turbulence and you'll want to manage that with your throttle accordingly. Now there's a good few hours of fun and entertainment in these discovery flights, so you'll definitely want to do them all if you can. Our final major part to complete are the bush trips. Now these are similar in every way to the discovery flights that we just did, but they require a little less hand holding with you, and really it's you managing the systems. So here you're going to be using your heading indicator a lot and managing your altitude as you traverse through the mountains. Usually they are multiple legs, so each kind of bush trip has multiple legs within them, and those legs take about 20 to 40 minutes to complete until you've completed the whole trip. Now one bush trip alone can take a few hours, and there's loads of fun to be had as you're going to be seeing some incredible sights, and it really shows off the graphical prowess of the game. Likewise, the challenge in these comes in the form of landing. You know, you'll actually be landing on grass strips, so you'll have to try and find out where that landing strip is. You're not going to just always be landing on a normal concrete runway. And so for those, you're going to have some kind of challenges that get thrown in the way, that you'll have to avoid trees or just get the right angle as you come in. Now once you've completed these bush trips, you'll have a full understanding of heading, of autopilot, of flaps, of landing and takeoff, among other things as well, such as taxi. Now all in all, at this point you'd have done several hours of game here. There's plenty of content there for newcomers, and you really don't need to learn more than what I've kind of said to you already, but you have a few choices at this point. You can now go back to the flight training and start learning the jets, or if you're on the PC, I actually think you should look to download NeoFly, which is a free program, basically gives you a career mode in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020, and the idea is that you'll be taking passengers or making deliveries to airports around the world. It's done in the form of these kind of bush trip style flights, so you're not necessarily always going to be in jets. I'm going to provide a link in the description below, and this for me is the best free mod around, and one I highly recommend. So get involved, you're going to have some great fun discovering new locations. Now a question you see a lot is, do I need a flight stick to get enjoyment from this game? In your early days, I would say absolutely not. If you're on the Xbox, the controller is absolutely fine, and if you're on the PC, try and find yourself an Xbox controller. However, I will say, if you get as far as the discovery flights, it might be worth investing, but fear not. You do not need to go crazy unless you really see this as a major hobby of yours going forward. For the PC, I recommend just getting the cheapest but arguably the best bang for buck joystick around, and that's the 3D Pro Logitech flight stick. Now the pandemic has made these hard to come by, so don't be paying scout prices, you should be able to grab one for around $30. The great part is that this has excellent control for pitch and roll, along with a little throttle lever, as well as some buttons to help manage your flaps, gears, or your pitot heat. Now, I don't play on the Xbox, so I can't confirm if this is 100% accurate, but I'm pretty sure you can plug in compatible wireless mouse and keyboard devices. Again, get the cheapest you can find, make sure it's compatible, do a quick Google search. You don't need a super sensitive mouse for this. What this is really about is just giving Xbox owners that ability to use the keyboard to manage some of those more trickier controls and just take the pressure off using the controller the whole time, which then can just be used for the flying. And my final little bonus tip for you: runway numbers. They actually mean something. Who would have known this? I didn't think of this when I sort of started my amateur flying career. It took me forever to find out, but it made my landing so much more easy. So I'm just going to quickly share this. Basically, the numbers on the runway are effectively what you are seeing on your heading dial, and they are basically the degrees. So, for example, runway 8 is 80 degrees. Runway 26 is 260 degrees. Runway 31 is 310 degrees. Game changer, right? And that's going to allow you to actually start lining up the runways a little easier when you're doing those VFR flight navigation rules. At this point, you would have played for hours on end, likely be in a situation where this becomes a full-time hobby. Before you know it, you'll be investing hundreds in flight yokes and track IR and a new PC. And yes, it is an expensive hobby if you go down that path, but trust me, there is truly nothing else like this out there. The flight sim community is also wonderful, so sign up to a few of those on Reddit for help and any questions. Likewise, there are a ton of videos on YouTube which will actually teach you how to fly the systems, the aircraft, doing it from a cold start, etc. My video today is more for those people who are just unsure whether the game is for them, or more to the point, maybe they've just bought the game and they don't really know where to start with it. And with that, guys, if you like this content, please subscribe, and until next time, happy flying.